Hi there, VC. It's Steve Whitty here with a video for Sunday. Sun is shining at the moment after a period of rain. I hope everyone's well. This is going to be a shorter video than usual. It's based on a sort of response to a video that James Griffiths put on about, I think, last week, which he's sort of discussing what is a Grail. And it's quite an interesting question because it's a phrase that gets shown a lot in the BC. Grail. Well, I've got this. This is a Grail of mine. He's one of my Grails. Well, yada yada yada. And it is interesting because actually, Grail isn't a term I like using. To me, if you've got a Grail, it should be. It's sort of like the one thing you're looking for in you to complete your collection, or you want in your collection more than anything. And I honestly look at it with Discogs Discogs doesn't have a Grail list. It has a want list, but you don't have a Grail list. So that's how I sort of view it. So we're not poo-pooing the fact that people use it. It's just not a term that I like using. I have occasionally used it, and I'm only going to show a couple of albums, really. What is a Grail? And I think I saw one of the replies to James's video, which I think John Downing, 6-inch pianist, sort of said, and I think he is right. It's very much a personal thing because it's basically a record that you want on vinyl to put in your collection. I think James showed a couple that records, CDs that he would love to have on a vinyl copy of, and that's more than fine. As this moment, I haven't really got what you call a Grail in the list. If I find certain records I want, but I'm not going to go out my way with be it eBay or whatever to find it. If I find it, great. If I find it and the price is right, even better. And I mentioned in my reply to James that I found what I could perceive as a Grail, in a £2 bin. Now it is down to the choice. Now the record I'm going to show you is nothing remarkable. It's an album I had on tape at the time. It's one of my favourite albums of the 80s, and I've shown this before. Katrina and the Waves, self-titled album from 1985. So I found this in a £2 bin. It's an album I wanted on vinyl for a while. And when I found it, I sort of changed my plans what I wanted to buy, and I thought I'm going to have it, £2 or not, and it plays great. 80s albums of this ilk tend to pop up in the bins. And I swear blind, it's one of my favourite albums, the 80s albums. So I suppose I consider it at the time to be a Grail. Whether you guys think it's a Grail, you think, well, that's just a nothing album. But that's why I suppose a Grail is a personal thing. And hence why, it's what I suppose why people get it. And I suppose when they get the Grail, I'm stoked to get it. To me, anyone that's stoked from Stoke-on-Trent. But there you go. So, as I said, it's not a phrase I like using, but I did use it on Instagram. Hannah Liamhar Introvert put on her Instagram account, showed an album, and it's an album I'd had coveted, but I'd really never thought I'd find a copy because it'd be damn expensive. I said that's probably my Grail. Lo and behold, I went on eBay. I do have occasional florries into eBay, and I found a copy. And it then begs the question of said album: how far will you go to get a copy of your Grail? I'm going to show the album. I played it yesterday, so if you follow my Instagram account or you remember the YouTube vinyl community group, Vinyl Matters group, or the Bastards of Eclectic Taste, you'll know that yesterday I played this. This is straight up from Badfinger. I've been on the lookout for Badfinger for some time. I managed to pick up a copy of Ass recently, but this was the one I really wanted. I'd streamed. I've never owned a physical copy of this album. It's a classic album. I know it's more popular in the States than it is in the UK. You find it to try and find a UK copy costs an arm and a leg. I said I brought this off eBay. eBay's quality can be sometimes questionable, where Discogs won't allow you to sell it. eBay will. This is a bootleg. Let me show you, because it's on Round Records, and they've even got a address in Wisconsin, where the said M&M Music are based. I paid £15 for this, so so I knew it was boot. Quality wise, it ain't bad, but I think it's come off a tape. I got a feeling when mastering it, there's times where you can tell that the sync is a little bit out. I knew that when I bid for it on eBay, when I thought Round Records, and I checked on Discord and I couldn't see anything with Round Records on. I even Googled Round Records, I couldn't find anything. So I knew at the time when I bid for this was a bootleg. I won it. I was the only person that bid for it, to be frank. And I wasn't going to go above what I paid for it. If I didn't get it for that, well, I wasn't going to break my neck. And it does beg the question, how far are you going to go to? How far are you going to go to get hold of said Grail? Now I've gone down the route to get a bootleg, and I know James showed a box set of Beatles CDs where the bootlegs, But does this make it a Grail because it's not an official copy? I don't know. It's a tough one. Now I've got said record. Do I stop buying records? I've got my Grail. Because to me, that's the thing about the term Grail. It's that one item. The film Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Monty Python and the Holy Grails. When you get your Grail, do you find another one, or do you call it a day? It's a bit of a tough one to comprehend. And as I said, I suppose it's individual choices. You've all got your favourite bands, there's records from the 60s, from a childhood. Yeah, I'd love to have them back. Would I go out my way to buy it? That Badfinger was probably the nearest I'll ever get to go out my way to look for a particular record. So it's interesting because I think everyone's got Grails. Everyone has got a record that they covet more than anything that would love to have. I don't think there's anything that I would sell my family for. And I think there is anything I can just come up and just add to my collection as I see fit. Let's get my tea. Sorry about that. The screensaver decided to come on. I think it's a time that I've been prattling on too much. Yeah, so as a response to Grail, I think it is what you want. How far you go for it, again, it's down to yourself. So, you know, keep hunting for your Grails. Best of luck for those who watch the video in hunting. Be interested to see now actually what record is your Grail record. And it can only be one, not Grails. A Grail is one to me, as I said earlier. So, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Love the interaction. Feel free to comment. I will get back to you eventually. Whatever you do, make sure you have a good one. Clocks have gone back today in the UK and Europe. Means I've had an extra hour in bed, which is false because you just wake up an hour earlier. But it means the dark nights are coming in. So whatever you get up to today, VC, take care of yourselves. Keep spinning. More importantly, keep smiling.